Ask the Doctor, Saturday morning at 9 on AM 930, The Answer.
Ask the Doctor with Michael Lange begins in 10 seconds.
When it comes to your health, are you seeing the check engine light come on more than normal? It's time to get under the hood. It's time for Ask the Doctor with Dr. Michael Lange. Sponsored by Lange Eye Institute and Fortifeye Vitamins. Dr. Lange is a board-certified optometric physician and certified nutrition specialist, helping people see and feel better through proper nutrition for 25 years. The doctor is in. Call now with your questions at 877-969-8600. That's 877-969-8600. Here's your host, Dr. Michael Lange.
Okay, good morning, and welcome to Ask the Doctor. I'm your host, as usual, Dr. Michael Lange of the Lange Eye Institute and Fortifeye Vitamins, here each and every Saturday morning live to answer any and all questions you may have regarding your vision, eye care, and a nutritionally related topic. Give us a call at 1-877-969-8600. That's 1-877-969-8600. If you're new to the program, who's Dr. Lange? I'm a board-certified optometric physician. I am a certified nutritional specialist, founded Lange Eye Care and Associates March 15th of 1993. We opened 14 locations in the state of Florida, and we opened Fortifeye Vitamins about 20 years ago and the Lange Eye Institute about 20 years ago. And, you know, our philosophy is a little bit different than most eye care centers. You know, we do traditional medical eye care with a nutritional twist. And everybody, or just about everybody at the Lange Eye Institute, has some sort of nutritional degree as well. So not only am I a board-certified optometric physician, I'm a certified nutritional specialist. Dr. Susan Summerton is a certified nutritional specialist. She's also a diplomat, and she's a fellow. So she's got more nutritional credentials than anybody in the state of Florida when it comes to an eye doctor. Of course, Dr. Richard Hall is also a nutrition guru and an icon in the sports nutrition world. And all of us are at the Lange Eye Institute. And of course, we can't forget Dr. Lori Caputi, also at the Lange Eye Institute in the Villages, Florida. Also, you can come to our nutrition center in Clearwater, the Fortifeye Nutrition Center right on McMullen Booth Road in Clearwater, Florida. We're open 6 days a week there. We're closed on Sunday. Or the Lange Nutrition Center in Ocala, Florida, right there on State Road 200 across from the Paddock Mall. And you can see Mandy and Mary and the whole gang there. And there's an amazing anti-aging wellness center called Reboot upstairs with Dr. Thomas and Fabian. And we're going to talk more about what they have to offer. But Reboot is a great place if you're looking for that holistic kind of complementary, natural place to go for anti-aging and wellness. And of course, Dr. Patrick Watson, the neuropsychologist, is upstairs, and the world famous plastic surgeon, Dr. John Poser. We also have an acupuncturist upstairs with the gang in Ocala, right upstairs at 3101 State Road 200 in Ocala, Florida. Remember, the Lange Eye Institute is in the Villages, right at County Road 101 and 466. It looks like a big plantation on the Mississippi River. So today we got a lot to talk about. Dr. Summerton is my guest, and we're going to introduce her and say hello in just a second. We're going to talk about anti-aging. We're going to talk about wellness. We're going to talk about New Year's resolutions. We're going to talk about my 7 nutritional hacks for a healthier lifestyle. Now, if you want to look at those, you can go to fortifeye.com, because we'll cover them pretty quickly today. But if you go to fortifeye.com and go to the top of the page and go to the section blog, and it's the second blog down, it says 7 nutrition hacks for a healthier lifestyle. So it's all about getting healthy for the new year. There's no time like the present. All right, we're getting ready to take some phone calls. But first of all, I want to say hello to Dr. Summerton. Good morning, Dr. Summerton.
Good morning. Calling in here from the Villages. A little bit of a foggy day here today, but looking forward to a great show and answering all the calls from our listeners.
Yep, and I got to brag before we take the next few callers. I got to brag on Dr. Summerton just a little bit. All right, I call her the asset at the Lange Eye Institute. Dr. Summerton is not only a nutrition guru with more credentials than anybody I know. She's a national lecturer on the circuit. She's the talk show host. Okay, she's a Lange Eye Institute doctor. She is a nice person. She's my workout partner. And she's also the president of the local optometric association up in the Panhandle. And she just won an award. And I got to say, I am very proud of her. Like I said, she's my workout partner during the week. And I am very proud. I'm going to let her toot her horn about this award she just won.
Well, thank you for that. And I am super excited because I literally just found out this morning at the gym, which I went to before the radio show. We had a transformation challenge at the gym, and it went from September until, just 2 weeks ago. And the contest was the most % body fat lost. And I'm super excited and kind of proud of myself and helpful for all the gym experience that I won the contest. And I actually won $1,000. And it's just really motivating to see what a difference it takes of choosing the right choices. I always have a protein shake every single day. My favorite is the chocolate Fortifeye whey protein. And I substitute one meal a day for that. And of course, we do our routine of our going to the gym every day and try to get in those at least 10,000 steps a day too. And it's just, you look at the scale and it can be a little discouraging sometimes. And I kind of stopped weighing myself. I'm sure a lot of people experience that, where you're working hard and you don't necessarily notice the pounds coming off, but it was the % body fat of transforming that body fat into muscle and making just a healthier me.
Yep. Congratulations. And it wasn't like she was obese. She was in pretty good shape to begin with. But now I got to tell you, Dr. Summerton's a lean, mean fighting machine. And she does take the Fortifeye Super Protein, remember, or the grass-fed whey isolate. So check that out on the website at fortifeye.com. Fortifeye Super Protein is a grass-fed, non-denatured New Zealand whey protein. And then our bag is the grass-fed whey isolate from UK cows. I always tell you, when you're looking at whey proteins, make sure it says 3 things on the bottle: grass-fed, non-denatured, and where the cows come from. Remember, grass-fed, non-denatured, where the cows come from. If it doesn't say all 3 of those on the label, stay away. All right, we're going to go to the phones. We got a lot of Marys on hold, so we're going to go to the first Mary in Palm Harbor. Mary, good morning. Thanks for holding. Welcome to the program.
Hey, Dr. Lange. Hey, I've got a question. I've got a makeup mirror that has LED lights all around it, and I notice when I look into the mirror, the reflection of the light is in my eyes, like there's a round circle, and it's white, like because it's a round mirror. So I actually have a round circle that is in my eye when I look into it, and I was wondering, it's white around the edges like the LED lights would be. Is that harmful to my eyes?
No, you'll be okay. It's not blue light, right? It's white light.
It's white, but it's all LED lights around the mirror.
Yeah, it's as long as you're not doing it all day long every day, all right? Just a little bit's fine. I mean, obviously, any type of LED light and digital apparatuses do emit a little blue light. That's a high-intensity visible spectrum. Even white lights have some blue light in it. But you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. Now, remember, I always say eat a lot of organic kale or spinach, orange bell peppers, things like this that are high in carotenoids, lutein, and zeaxanthin, because that actually replenishes macular pigment density, protecting your retina from the harmful blue light. Or taking a supplement like we have the Fortifeye Focus that has lutein, zeaxanthin, and astaxanthin in it, or a supplement that's similar to our Fortifeye Focus. That's kind of an insurance policy, against the harmful effects of specific lights.
Yeah, I already take most of your products, so Oh, okay, that's good. I was wondering if that was harmful. So
Yeah, let's let Dr. Summerton chime in on that too. It's always have good opinions.
okay.
I wanted to make sure, are you talking about the reflection of you're seeing a ring of the reflection of the light in the mirror, or you're talking about there's a white circle on your eye going around the colored part of your eye?
Well, I look into the mirror and then I see in my eye, the round circle that's white around the edges, just like the mirror is. And so, it's in my eye when I look into the mirror. So it's a reflection, I guess. I guess it's a big mirror. It's an 8-inch round mirror, with all the lights around it. I mean,
the little white reflection light is fine. I actually remember my kids noticing that when they looked in the mirror, and that's fine for those short periods of time. What I thought you may have been talking about, you can get a white ring around the outer edge of your eye called arcus senilis, and that can be in some people associated with high cholesterol, but that's there all the time. And so I just wanted to make sure if that's what you were talking about.
Yeah, it's only there, when I look, and one side is magnification and one side is, regular mirror. But I guess at the most I would be using it a half hour, maybe at the most, at one time.
Good. The lights in the morning is good. It's the lights in the evening that can become bad. You don't want that blue light in the evening.
Oh, yeah, I would use it during the day for sure. Okay, that's a good point. Yeah. Because, I use it for your eyebrows and then, even, everything to check. Actually, I look into my eyes too, of course, to see if I have red eyes or whatever,
I think all is well.
Thanks for the call, Mary. You have a good one. All right. You're listening to Ask the Doctors. Once again, Dr. Michael Lange and Dr. Susan Summerton, both of the Lange Eye Institute. Give us a call at 1-877-969-8600. That's 1-877-969-8600. Remember, you can go to fortifeye.com to learn more about the nutrients that we have. And very soon, if not already, you'll be able to actually pre-buy the Fortifeye Rejuvenate. I don't know if it's up yet. If it's not up, it'll be up Monday or Tuesday. We've got a lot of people interested in the new Fortifeye Rejuvenate. That is going to be a supplement to help us rejuvenate our bodies. It's good for our skin, our hair, our nails, and our joints. It's going to come out very, very soon. We'll know for sure the ETA on Monday or Tuesday. But check everything out at fortifeye.com. That's FORTIFEYE. Remember, it's kind of a play on words since I'm an eye doctor. Fortifeye.com. I'm going to give you the phone number for Fortifeye Vitamins twice right now. Get a pen and paper. All right. The phone number is 866-503-9746. That's 866-503-9746. Also, remember, you can always watch these shows on our YouTube channel. Just go on to Dr. Michael Lange Ocular Health channel. So Dr. Michael Lange Ocular Health channel. And you can watch these shows for, 10 years ago on that YouTube. So subscribe to that YouTube and you can always catch up. All right, let's go back to the phones. We got another Mary in Gainesville, Florida. Thanks for being patient, Mary. Good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Lange. This is a question about butter, real butter, because it depends on who you listen to. If you go to, I think it's called the Weston A. Price Foundation people, main exponent be Sally Fallon, they are all into grass-fed meats and real butter and cheeses, etc. But if you go to the other side, the vegan world, proposed, let's say, by Robin and his son Ocean Robbins, Food Revolution Network, they are really very against any type of fat. And so my question is fat something to be totally avoided, or is butter really important and necessary every day because of the whatever A, K, and I forget what the other vitamin is, right, that is fat related?
Well, we have to have fat in our diet. But you can get good fats, from omega-3 fish oil, from eating fish. You can get fats from, coconut oil. You can get fats from butter, from, dairy sources. All right. So here's the problem. Okay. And this is dairy in general. If you're eating dairy and you're drinking milk or butter or cheese or anything that is coming from a non-grass-fed cow, all right, then chances are that's actually a cow that, number one, is got an A1 beta casein in it. So that's a bad casein protein that actually has been affiliated with leaky gut, diabetes, autism, and cancer. All right. Even SIDS now is affiliated with that. So that's why a lot of people stay away from any type of dairy. But if it's grass fed, all right, and ultimately organic grass fed, and to take it to one step further, if it comes from an A2 cow, a goat, or a sheep, all right, any type of that butter, I think is fine, because the butter, the fat has anti-inflammatory components of omega-3 in it. But remember, if it's not grass-fed, it's pro-inflammatory. It's very high in omega-6 because an example is a cow is fed a genetically modified grain that's very high in omega-6s. Now, it's the same thing, Mary, with beef, okay? A lot of people, the same people will tell you, don't eat beef, right? So, and then a lot of people say grass-fed beef. Well, that's very true, because beef, the fat is where all the bad stuff is in it. If you're eating genetically modified grain that also has antibiotics and growth hormone in it, that's in the fat. So if you do grass-fed, organically raised, you're going to be much better. But any type of dairy, look for A2 goats or sheep, and you'll be fine. And remember, everything in moderation. So, you don't want to put a pat of butter on everything every day. So, one day you can have some olive oil on your salad. One day you can put some, butter on your whole grain quinoa pancakes, just alternate it. Don't do everything every day, because you never know. We might find out that one of us was absolutely correct and one of us was absolutely wrong. So remember, everything in moderation. I always tell people to mix it up. Don't ever eat the same thing every day constantly.
All right. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
All right. And what do you think, Dr. Summerton, about these fats?
I think just the same, where we do need good quality fats in our diet. We have to absorb our fat soluble vitamins. So if we're not eating those fats, then we can't absorb the vitamins and we become deficient in those. And I agree with the butter. We need real butter in moderation. And I remember a long time ago finding out that real butter has conjugated linoleic acid in it, which it has been shown to help with modest weight loss. And I think just keeping it in its whole food source and not taking it to things like margarine that we want to stay away from. It's just a small amount of butter to add that extra little flavor and also help us absorb our vitamins.
Absolutely.
And grass butter is pretty easy to find these days in the grocery stores.
Right. It really is. So like we said, everything in moderation. And also all the vegans out there, we are working. One of the problems with vegans, all right, is that's very difficult for them to get a complete protein that's high in branched chain amino acids, that has a PDCast of 1. So we have worked and we finally signed the deal on a complete vegan protein that has a PDCast of 1, the same as whey. And the branched chain amino acids are about the same as whey. Actually, the glutamine is higher than whey. And it's going to be coming from an upcycled barley and a fermented pea protein. And it actually is delicious. And we're probably one of the first in the industry to make a vegan protein that's not chalky and grainy. And Dr. Summerton, we worked on this for a long time, didn't we?
We did. We have tried so many different flavors and different brands and doing the taste testing. And I'm pretty excited about the new one coming out and pretty impressed that we got that flavor and tasting pretty good.
Right. We're going to have it in vanilla, we're going to have it in chocolate, and we're going to have it in salted caramel mocha. And that's for all you vegans out there. Finally, it's a non-GMO vegan protein that tastes delicious, that actually has a PDCast of 1. So you're going to be getting a complete protein from a vegetable source. All right. Because in the past, I always said, you vegans need to have some sort of animal protein, a whey protein or something. But now we've got something that I can, put my faith in. All right, we're getting ready to go to the phones. Let's go to 1-877-969-8600. Give us a call, 1-877-969-8600. And we're going to Colorado. It's probably a little chilly in Colorado right now. John, good morning. Thanks for holding.
Hey, good morning, Dr. Lange. I have a few questions for you. Number one is I have your next gen zinc-free Fortifeye macular defense.
Right.
I got that. And I'm looking at it says on the serving size, 3 capsules, but then it goes directions and it says take 3 capsules with each meal. So if you eat 3 meals a day, is that 6 capsules?
All right, so that's an older label. We've adjusted that. Somebody brought that to our attention. So it's 3. The servings is basically 1 capsule per meal. You could take 3 at 1 meal, but the problem with that is the water soluble vitamins. You're just going to have expensive urine. All right, so
Yeah.
you want to divide it up through 3 meals. And if you only eat 2 meals a day, then believe it or not, drink some goat's milk or something, because something in the dairy, if you have dairy, actually helps the carotenoids absorb better. But it's a good idea to eat 3 meals a day and sometimes 5 meals a day if they're small meals. But I'm glad you brought that to my attention. So the serving size is 3 capsules per day.
Okay, great. Okay, so that was my first question. My second question is I have to make sure I'm not going overboard on vitamins. So if I'm taking this product, would that kind of replace a 1-a-day multivitamin or?
Absolutely. And I would recommend staying away from a 1-a-day. And the reason for that is all 1-a-day vitamins have beta carotene in them. Okay. And most of them have some binders and fillers I don't love. And I don't know where they're coming from either. So remember, beta carotene binds to binding sites on lutein, zeaxanthin, and astaxanthin. And those are carotenoids in the xanthophyll family that are very good for your retina and your brain. So I don't think beta carotene should be in a supplement because, once again, you get enough vitamin A in your diet. Remember, beta carotene is provitamin A. You get enough vitamin A as long as you're not a vegan. And if you're a vegan, you're eating plenty of vegetables, so you're getting plenty of beta carotene already. So high dosages of beta carotene in a supplement can actually block the absorption of these good carotenoids. And I was the investigator in a pilot study called the Blaze study years ago that actually proved this. So yeah, I would not take a multivitamin. Remember, this Fortifeye Macular Defense or zinc-free Macular Defense has all the B complex you need, all the C, the 8 forms of E, the D3. It has no vitamin A and no beta carotene. Plus, you've seen everything else that's in it, not only for the eyes, but for every organ in your body. Remember, it's kind of like an insurance policy. It's not a miracle pill. It's not a cure. It's not a treatment, but it does give you the nutrients that most of us are lacking in our daily diet.
Okay, great. And then my last question, sir, is now I was looking at the ingredients, and matter of fact, I took my wife to a retina specialist for her macular degeneration, and they gave me a sheet recommending the ARIDS based on the ARIDS 2 study.
Right.
So obviously I compared all the ingredients, and you have everything in there except on this one I purchased was the zinc free. I don't know why I purchased zinc free, but I did. So.
And I think I think you did the right thing. We were involved in some studies, and here's the problem. Remember, that study you're talking about is pretty old, okay? That's an old study, and that's old science, all right? In that particular product, the only thing I really like is the vitamin C, the lutein, and the zeaxanthin. Remember, there's 80 milligrams of zinc oxide in an AREDS 2 supplement. And there's some studies that indicate that based on your DNA, your genetic makeup, that amount of zinc could be toxic. And most nutritional specialists realize that we really shouldn't be taking more than 40 milligrams of zinc at any one time. And I like 30 milligrams of zinc. So what I do, I ask my patients 4 questions, okay? Are you a vegan? If you're a vegan, you probably need extra zinc. If you're an alcoholic, you probably need extra zinc. If you're on a diuretic, you probably need extra zinc. And if you have ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease or something like that, you probably need extra zinc. But the lion's share of the people listening out there probably are not one of those 4. So that's why I created the zinc-free macular defense. Remember, more is not better. Too much zinc can harm your brain. A man, it can harm your prostate. So if you're not one of those 4, I would stay on the zinc-free macular defense. And it talks about that under the description at fortifeye.com. It gives you those 4 little things so you can go to it. I think you're doing fine. But once again, she still needs to see a retina specialist and follow his or her advice.
Yep. And yeah, I think the retinas, but they just weren't familiar with your products, and
Right.
and everybody knows about this RH2 thing. So I have your product, and with that, I'm a little vitamin crazy. I have a tendency to get overboard. So I want to, so I'll take this product along with my wife, and then you're saying I don't need a multivitamin. Do you?
Right.
Is there any other vitamin I should be taking along with this?
Well, I would be eating some good cold water fish or taking an omega-3 fish oil. But remember, omega-3 fish oil has to be the RTG form, reestified triglyceride form. The typical ones you buy over the counter have ethanol attached to the backbone. Not good. Some of these ethyl ester molecules have been affiliated with atrial fibrillation. So not just to be promoting my Fortifeye, there's other good brands on the market, not that many, but Fortifeye Super Omega, if you're under 200 pounds, 1 or 2 a day. If you're over 200 pounds, go to Fortifeye Super Omega 3 Max and take a good omega-3 fish oil, or eat some good cold water fish like sardines, anchovies, wild Alaskan salmon, mackerel, herring, something like that. So either or.
Okay, great. Well, you answered all my questions, and sir, thank you for your time.
My pleasure, John. Enjoy the slopes of Colorado.
Okay, I will. Bye now.
All right. And Dr. Summerton, we have a great show this morning, and it's our subject is really talking about ways to improve our health as naturally as possible. And we don't want to step on any physician's toes. We're not telling you to stop medications. We're not telling you to alter everything, but to do what God wants you to do. Really, eat the foods from the planet. Get out and breathe fresh air. Get a little sunshine. Get a good night's sleep. Hydrate. All of these things work synergistically together to help promote wellness, don't they, Doc?
Absolutely. And this is the time of year when we can reflect on what our goals are for the new year that's coming. Like, what are we going to do? What's our New Year's resolution going to do? How are we going to make our lives better? What are we going to do to improve our health? And it's us that needs to do it. We have the power to make the changes in our lives, and we have to look back and see what little changes we can make. Is it those diet changes, just eating less of the bad and more of the good? Is it getting outside and taking a walk, getting more sunshine, getting some vitamin D, spending time socializing, laughing, all those things that we hear about in those blue zones that make people extend their lives, but extend their lives fully where they're still healthy and still moving. And how much are we going to move? There's so many things where we can make just little changes that make a really big difference in the quality of our lives.
Yep. And this is a perfect time. I would just want to promote a company I talked about briefly in the beginning of the show called Reboot. And Reboot is kind of like an anti-aging wellness center that allows you to take control of your life. And I want to give you their website. Their website is rebootselfcare.com. So rebootselfcare.com. I'm going to give you the phone number. This is in Ocala, Florida. 352-820-3151. 352-820-3151. These guys got it going on. They understand this. They will help you get to your New Year's resolutions. So they do things like guided self-detox, hair follicle scans, pulse analysis scans, colon hydrotherapy, hyperbaric chambers. They have a fat detox dome, all right? They do IV infusions. They do red and infrared, therapies and treatments. They do a whole host of things. They do actually exercise with oxygen. So it's called Reboot. It's in Ocala, right there at 3101 Southwest College Road, upstairs in my old Lange Eye Care building, right where the Lange Nutrition Center is. Go up the elevator, and then to the left. It's called Reboot. See Dr. Thomas over there, and also Fabian, and tell him I sent you. All right, we're getting loaded up. Let's go back to the phones. We're going to Steve in Clearwater first. Steve, thanks for holding. Good morning, my friend.
Yeah, you said there were a lot of controversies about fats, and we never know if we're all right or all wrong or half wrong.
Right.
Well, the one thing that almost everybody agrees on, and I don't know anybody that disagrees on fat, is trans fats. They are bad. They are bad. They are bad. Nobody says they're good. Nobody. And it's to explain to the audience, if you take your hand, your right hand and your left hand, they're exactly constructed exactly the same way. But it's the position relative to the fingers versus the thumb versus the palm. And if you took a right-handed glove and tried to put it on your left hand, it wouldn't work. In the same way, our enzymes, which are made for cis fats, are like putting a right-handed glove on a left-handed on a left hand, and they won't work. So those fats build up in the arteries. There's nothing to break them down. What is puzzling to me is that this is basic high school, not highfalutin, multi-million-dollar research. It's simple high school biology that they should never have had these on the market. Any high school biology person could tell you why they shouldn't have ever had them on the market.
Steve. Hey, Steve, listen to this. I'm going to take us down memory lane. Now, some of you that are, older than most are going to remember this. Remember a commercial? When you think it's butter, but it's not. It's chiffon. Remember that? Chiffon. And there was another one. It was going butter. No, parquet. Yeah. Remember that? So parquet and chiffon, those were trans fats. Remember, back in the 70s, we thought these were good for us. We were trying to get rid of butter and replace it with these trans fats. And we found out that backfired, didn't it?
Oh, it did terribly. And what's funny is, if you take those old margarines and put them in the back of your trunk of your car and leave it there all summer, and you take it out, it'll be perfectly, because they don't oxidize right either. I mean, they do go rancid, but they very slowly. It's because the bacteria can't even use them. The bacteria can't multiply in them.
Steve, I got to ask you a quick question. You're a good person to ask this. You're talking about, putting that in the back of your car. So I'm not going to mention any names, but, a fast food burger place, one of my staff had one and they were on the low carb diet. So they took the bun off, and I took the bun and I said, watch what happens. I took the bun outside and stuck it in an ant pile. Okay. Now, it's the time ants are going to eat the food. Well, the week when we came back, that was on a Friday. When we came back, you'd think the bread would be all moldy and disintegrated. Well, the ant pile had moved and the bread was sitting there still brand new, no mold on it, never got any mold on it. Why did the ant pile move, and why does the bread have no mold on it?
Intrinsic intelligence. I guess they just know that it's not, they're probably more sensitive to it, and they just know.
Some chemicals that are in it possibly that aren't the best thing in the world for our health.
Well, ants have been very helpful in the past. Before they knew what diabetes was, back even before Jesus was born, they ate a lot of grapes and stuff, and they knew that there was this disease in which if people ate too many grapes, they would get sick, and they because they'd have an insulin reaction, and then but they didn't know what diabetes was. They knew nothing about insulin. Right. So they would take they found that if they would take a little bit of that person's urine and put it on the ground, if the ants were attracted to it, they knew that it was the sugar in the urine. And so they knew that person should eat less grapes and fruit.
Right.
And this was 2,000 years ago. So the ants gave them an answer, and they gave you an answer on that bun.
That's awesome, Steve. Thanks for the call, buddy.
Okay. God bless you.
All right.
Have a Merry Christmas.
Bye-bye. All right, we're getting ready to go to the call, phones, 1-877-969-8600. We're on a roll, 1-877-969-8600. Myself and Dr. Susan Summerton are hosting Ask the Doctor this morning. Let's go to Mike in Ocklawaha. Mike, good morning. Welcome to the program.
Hey, good morning. Hey, listen, I've been listening to you for years, and I took my wife to your place of business last week. Mm-hmm. And I got to tell you, I'd rather do it off the air with you, but if you want it on the air, I will.
Well, I tell you what, if you would, I'm going to give you my personal cell phone. Okay.
I don't have a pen with me. How about if I give you mine and you call me?
I will. Give it to me.
It's 352
Mm-hmm.
598
Mm-hmm.
1498.
All right, Mike, I will call you right after the show and we'll get to the bottom of this.
Yeah, I would really appreciate a call back.
All right. I will but I don't know, give me 15 minutes after the show in the car on the way home. I'll give you a holler.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All right, Mike.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Interesting. 1-877-969-8600. 1-877-969-8600. You know, you can't please everybody 100% of the time, but I like to please everybody 100% of the time. So we're going to fix this. All right. Let's go to Ruben in Tampa. Ruben, good morning. Welcome to the program.
Good morning, Dr. Lang. I would like for you to elaborate on the benefits of biometric lenses.
All right. S in what category?
Well, the ones that they claim that what they do with your eyes, they actually forgot what they do with it, but they scan your eyes from one end to the other in order to produce your lenses.
Okay, so
do you know?
Yeah, I think you're talking about, that technology that allows us to get very accurate prescriptions. Some of the Germans have developed this technology, and we were actually instrumental in some of this technology years ago in the Clearwater office, and it was to get prescriptions within 1/100th of a diopter of accuracy, okay? And to help get rid of higher order aberrations. And I got to tell you, we invested in this technology years ago. And the problem is there's not many labs that can make these specifications within 1/100th of a diopter. So you had to use their lab. Okay. And this technology was extremely expensive. So your typical pair of glasses, especially in a progressive lens, was quite a bit more expensive. And, is it good? Is it bad? I mean, if you can get it within 1/100th of a diopter, I mean, that's great. But can you discern the difference? No, you can't. So currently, our technology is usually 1/4 of a diopter steps. All right. And some people can tell the difference between maybe 1/12 of a diopter, but most people cannot. So I think this technology, has some merit, and maybe the future, that's where we go. But currently, I think going to your optometrist or ophthalmologist and having a typical refraction done with the phoropter, where you sit behind that technology and go, which is better, 1 or 2? Which is better, 3 or 4? Some subjective feedback is still the best and the most cost effective. We certainly have automated technology that helps us get to that level much faster. And this technology is getting much better. There are some doctors that prescribe based on that automatic technology only, and they're not going to be 100% accurate. Well, let's face it, none of us are 100% accurate, okay? But you got to still put the phoropter in front of the patient and ask them subjectively, give them some choices to fine-tune that prescription for glasses. So I think we're still not exactly where we're going to be yet, but someday, you'll just put your face in a little device and it'll give you a prescription that's more accurate than you can subjectively discern. But we're not there yet.
Yeah, well, they advertise that a lot, and they say that you can get used to it once you're at home, and you don't have to scan. In other words, with your eyes.
Like
Dr.
Summerton, you want to chime in a little bit on this and help me out?
That's the same thought process of you. What you're talking about is making that biometric measurement to refine it to just small amounts that majority of people can't detect anyway. So you're paying for the upgrade right now that you're really not getting an advantage of. And we always try to look for the best materials on the market to give you that most accurate vision, because our goal is to make everyone see as best as we possibly can. So we're constantly searching for the latest and greatest, but sometimes the latest is not the greatest. So we have to wait and see what comes of it, using it in clinical practice, getting patient feedback, and then adjusting accordingly. And we just always want to make sure we have what is working for our patients.
Right. And we actually invested in some of this technology, and some of it was given to us in our optical for our opticians to use, to actually take these sophisticated measurements for your, your expensive lenses. And once again, it was a ploy to get, sell these specific types of lenses. And we didn't find any benefit at all. And it actually took a lot longer, and we had to charge the patient a lot more. So my advice is to get digital free-form lenses. All right. So if you're going wherever you go to the optical, make sure they're digital free-form lenses, and don't really worry about the brand. There's lots of brands out there. Like you got Kleenex, right? And Stave Pups. You have, Verilux and Kodak and Zeiss and Rodenstock and Shamir. Those are all brands. But now if you go with just digital free-form lenses, I wouldn't worry about the brand as much anymore, because all the technology is getting so good. Ruben, it's kind of like cars. Years ago, you could say, wow, this car is definitely better than that car. But now, heck, you look at the Toyota, the Hyundai, the Nissan, they're all good. I mean, heck, Toyotas are as good as the Mercedes are now, and so, or sometimes better. So it's the same thing, be very careful about gimmicks that are trying to get you in and say it's the best of the best, and then they have a very high price tag. So be careful.
Yeah, because they say that on a regular glasses, you have to concentrate on just one area, and
Right.
In the other ones you don't have to, because it's been scanned. I don't know.
Right. And so what they're trying to do, they're trying to develop a progressive lens that has a wider channel, and it gives you more peripheral vision. And taking all these
Right.
measurements is going to help reduce higher order aberrations and build a better progressive lens. And you can try it. Just make sure it's not $2,000. All right,
Well,
Ruben.
thank you for your advice. I appreciate it. You have a nice day.
All right, you take care. All right, you're listening to Ask the Doctor. Is Dr. Susan Summerton of the Lange Eye Institute, myself, Dr. Michael Lange. If you got a question, give us a call at 1-877-969-8600. That's 1-877-969-8600. Also, I'm going to give you my personal email. I don't know any doctor in the country that's going to do that live over the radio. So remember, it's all about customer service. I want 100% satisfaction. And, we had that caller in, Mike, that I'm going to call back and find out what went wrong. Everything doesn't always run as perfect as you want. There's always sometimes a kink in the wheel, but we're going to fix it. My personal email is idude92@icloud.com. That's EYEDUDE92@icloud.com. If you got a question, a statement, shoot me an email anytime. All right, one more time. We're going to open up the phones, 1-877-969-8600. That's 1-877-969-8600. We started talking about weight loss is one of the best ways of starting a New Year's resolution. And we talked about how Dr. Summerton won the award at her gym and got $1,000. And I still want to congratulate her on that. So we have a system at Fortifeye Vitamins called the Healthy Weight Loss Bundle. And the Healthy Weight Loss Bundle is great for your New Year's resolutions if you're indeed overweight and you want to do it naturally. All right. It consists of probiotics, enzymes, our organic blue-green superfood, and your choice of one of our whey proteins. And you simply take the enzymes before your cooked meals, the probiotics first thing in the morning or at bedtime, and you use a meal replacement. You take the organic blue-green superfood and the whey protein, a scoop of each with water, shake it up, and that's a meal replacement, but you alternate each day. So on Monday, it's your breakfast. On Tuesday, it's your lunch. On Wednesday, it's your supper. Thursday, it's going back to breakfast. So alternate that as a meal replacement each day. And then scroll down under the description of the Healthy Weight Loss Bundle at fortifeye.com, and you'll see the Lange Survival Diet, and you'll see a lot of recipes and images. I created all those meals and took pictures of them. And the other 2 meals, eat from that. And I guarantee you will lose weight if you add a little exercise to it as well. All right, we're going back to the phones. Let's go Sarah in Sarasota. Sarah in Sarasota. How that rhymes. Sarah, good morning.
Good morning, doctor. I'm calling for my husband. I'm going to give you my question for his eyes, and then I'm going to give you another input. It's both eyes, as they have a bubble on both sides. And we went to a doctor, and he said, that's okay. There's not big deal. But he's a cancer patient. And he's on chemo.
Right.
And this started to happen even before he was diagnosed with cancer early this year.
Right.
My question is, his eyes are red, he's got dry eyes. He doesn't want to go to a specialist because he said, they're going to start all, I cannot go through all this. Can a specialist do something about those 2 bubbles in his eyes?
Right. It's hard. Without seeing him, it's hard to say what's going on. It could be a bilateral lipoma. It could be a conjunctival cyst. He could have pingueculas, pterygiums. It's hard to say. All right. There's a lot of people that right up under their upper eyelid over in the temporal aspect will have these little fatty looking bubbles. And those are usually benign. Okay. Usually. But without somebody looking at it, I mean, it's hard for me to really say a lot. So he needs to see an optometrist or an ophthalmologist to find out for sure what that is. All right. If
so
it's
we see the optometrist.
Right. And if he said it was nothing to worry about, it's probably nothing to worry about. Now, you could always see an oculoplastic specialist. All right. That's an ophthalmologist trained in oculoplastics that can differentiate things a little more accurately if they're cancer. Most of these are not carcinogenic, but it's always best to err on the side of caution. Now, a red irritated eye could be as simple as dry eye, a chronic dry eye problem, but it could be a whole host of other things as well. It could be a virus. It could be, a bacteria. It could be an inflammatory response to something. So, I mean, would be happy to see him at the Lange Eye Institute anytime, or I could always refer you to somebody in the area. You should have my email now. But I think it's something, especially since he is a cancer patient, that maybe somebody needs to look at a little bit more carefully.
Correct. That's what I'm worried.
And you had 2 parts to your question. What was the other part?
No, I was just saying because he's under all this chemo.
Right.
It's a metastatic cancer here. Well, and he's doing good.
Good. So hopefully he's going to be good and he's going to be a survivor. But chemo can also cause irritation of the eye. Dr. Summerton, we see a lot of people on chemo and on radiation therapy that have some significant problems with their eyes, don't we? Especially dry eye related conditions.
Yes, chemo definitely can exacerbate the dry eye. So keeping it lubricated. We love those new Optase CD drops that we have 4 times a day, staying hydrated. Some warm compresses, even for about 10 minutes a day, hot enough so you feel the heat, not too hot so it's uncomfortable. Lay back, relax while you have the warm compress on. That helps too.
That's what I thought. The warmer will be better.
Yep. So try these things and get them in to see a specialist if you can. That'll give you a peace of mind.
That's what I want to, but I don't want to start another doctor doing it because he's going through this bad time.
Yeah, I understand. He doesn't want more doctors. I understand. He's going through a lot. It's stressful. So, yeah, I mean, you can always drive to drive to the villages and see one of us.
Well, that's my hope.
All right. Well, thanks, Sarah. Good luck with everything.
Thank you for everything.
All right.
Have a nice day.
Bye-bye. All right, so we started out talking a little bit. I was going to tell you about the 7 nutritional hacks for a healthier lifestyle. I'm going to go over them just really quickly. So number 1, believe it or not, limit your mouthwash. Stop using mouthwash routinely. Mouthwash kills off the bacterial flora in your mouth, responsible for the conversion of dietary nitrates to nitrites. This can actually result in a decrease in the vasodilation effects of the dietary nitrates, reducing cardioprotective aspects and brain and eye health. So, consider taking a good probiotic like Fortifeye probiotics. Stop using mouthwash all the time. Now, before you go on a hot date, especially if you're single, you don't want to have bad breath, but don't be using it twice a day indefinitely. You got to rethink your fruit salad. Thanks to Dr. Summerton. She brought this to our attention. Never eat apples, pears, and bananas with your berries because these fruits have polyphenol oxidase, and that blocks the absorption of the flavonoids in berries. We've taken all that into consideration with our Fortifeye Organic Blue-Green Superfood. Use caution with beta-carotene. We talked about this with a caller. No beta-carotene, especially if you have macular degeneration. So be careful with your carrots, pumpkins, and sweet potatoes. If you're going to eat rice, make sure you wash it really good, then soak it overnight, then cook it, then wash it again. That's going to reduce the arsenic. Maybe think about using a pseudo grain like quinoa, buckwheat, and amaranth. Manage your oxalate consumption. Stay away from beets, almonds, and spinach due to the kidney stone potential. Use the right omega-3s. We talked about that. And a good protein. We talked about that as well. But you can check this out at fortifeye.com. The article's at fortifeye.com under blogs. Dr. Summerton, thanks for being a host. You time to tell everybody goodbye.
Thank you. Every day, start thinking about those New Year's resolutions and those small can make a big difference. God bless.
Awesome. We're out of there. Have a great day. God bless you. Happy holidays. I'm out of here.